What's the best thing someone has ever said to you that you'll never forget? Not long before my father died, he said to me, "I spent so much time working for you and your sister, and now I wish I'd just spent more time with you." I'll never forget that, and it has greatly shaped the way I view my life and my kids. I was in the ER a couple months ago. Was miserable, exhausted, nervous, all of that. There was a shift change in nurses, and when the new nurse came in, she said, "Other nurse said you were probably the nicest person they ever met." One of the worst nights I'd had in a long time, and that was probably the kindest things a semi-stranger ever said about me. Had a wholesome conversation with a stranger sitting next to me on a bus. I forgot how we ended up with the topic, but he asked about what my father do for a living. I replied that I have never met my biological dad cause he did not acknowledge my existence. He told me something along the lines of, "Too bad for him not to be a parent to an awesome kid like you. It's not your loss, it's his." And I never felt bad about being fatherless again. Wow. It was the first time I had seen this guy in a couple of years. I had lost a lot of weight and gotten a tan, and he couldn't get over how well I looked. He hadn't even said hello, and it always stuck with me in a good way. I recently found out the same guy thought at the same time as that event that he thought I was perfect. I will never forget how hearing both of those things made me feel, and strive to get back to that. The first day I had my license, I picked this up dude up hitchhiking. I was having trouble trying to merge into heavy traffic, and he said, "You have to be more aggressive. Everything in life has a line where aggression turns into stupidity, and if you can find that line and stay on this side of it, you'll succeed at anything." I know that doesn't apply to everything in life, but it does apply to quite a few things, and it's actually helped me a lot throughout life. It's mind-blowing to think that this guy that I've never seen again and don't even know his name had such a big impact on me, and he doesn't even know it, lol. My grandfather said to me before I started my first job at a grocery store, the man who invented the phrase, "The customer is always right," should have been strung up by his balls. He was so very right. My granddad is reaching his later years, and he has a lot of health problems, diabetes, heart attacks, etc. And he has always been really grumpy and an overall rude person, but I still love him because I think he's a good guy. I think he's just had a lot of shit happen to him. Anyways, one day he looked at me and genuinely said, "If I knew I was gonna live this long, I would have taken better care of myself." I don't think I'll ever forget that. I left my abusive ex that I had been with for 13 years. A few months later, at which time I was still dealing with his crazy behavior, we had children. I had to get a restraining order and he went to jail. So I was hanging out with a friend, a really good caring friend, but also a friend with benefits. He asked me the simplest of questions about what we should get to eat, and when I didn't have any input to give, his words were, "You know, your thoughts and opinions are valid too." It hit me like a punch to the stomach. To him it was just a simple statement, but to me it was major. It made me realize how watered down I had become, and how obvious it must be to everyone else how meek and scared I had become, being unable to even give opinions. That was almost 2 years ago, and it has still stuck with me, and he has no idea how such a simple statement like that affected me. Before my dad died in 2016, he texted me these simple words, "I love you, bud. I'll never forget." Hi. Thanks for watching this video. Leave a like and subscribe if you want. It would definitely be appreciated. See you next time.